Under a blistering sun, a desolate wasteland stretches on. A group of warriors stands tense, sweat on their brows. Before them, a monstrous hydra blocks their path. They ready their spears, preparing for a desperate fight. But the first strike comes from within their own ranks. A young fighter drives his sword into a comrade's chest. The betrayed man chokes on his own blood, stunned. Our boy's eyes are cold, devoid of any hesitation. He brings the blade down in a swift, brutal execution. In the silence that follows, his face remains a mask. His former comrades stare, calling him a monster. Our boy stands alone, wounded and weary. Sensing weakness, they charge forward to kill him. But his gaze is cold, completely unfazed. A savage, blood-stained grin appears. He tilts his head back, a strange calm on his face. He doesn't wait, he lunges into the fray. His hand closes around a bloodied axe. Suddenly, multiple hidden traits activate at once. He carves a path through his former allies. A final, desperate roar tears from his throat. Then the scene cuts to a dark, messy room. Empty cans and instant noodles litter a desk. A lone figure sits bathed in the monitor's glow. A game over screen flashes. The warrior is defeated. The player leans back, yelling about the trash game. This is Park Hyun-myung living a life far from wise. He's wasting away on a weekday while others work. But a sudden, sharp focus enters his eyes. His hands hover over the glowing keyboard. For 5 years, this has been Park Hyun-myung's life. This one game has become his entire legacy. The game is Pangenia, a relic from 5 years ago. Its developers promised one wish to the final victor. The challenge drew in pros from all over the world. 5 years later, only Park Hyun-myung remains. The game was hated for its impossible difficulty. Allies could betray you without any warning. Powerful NPCs would hunt you down if you're wanted. And the strongest ones could delete your character forever. The most frustrating part, if your character dies, everything vanishes. It's a truly insane game, a brutal design philosophy. Because of that, its brief popularity quickly faded. He had 8 unique items, 5 years of work now gone. But then, a notification catches his eye. His character's death grants him 1.6 million soul points. An insane amount, far more than his previous characters combined. The SB system converts a dead character's value into points. These points are invested into talents for the next character. He recalls a sword master, a 10,000 SB investment who still died. With 1.6 million SB, he can try everything. He usually invests in magic talents, but not now. Instead, he decides to leave it all to chance. He's given up on winning this impossible game. He'll enjoy this last run before deleting it all. Suddenly, a memory cuts through the present. A younger, cleaner version of him is confused. She tells him she can't be with a man who has no future. She's at an age where she needs to marry. Her words leave him completely stunned. Her words are a final, cutting judgment. All her friends are marrying successful men. But he has absolutely nothing to offer. Park Hyun-myung can't even look her in the eye. She gives up, deciding to end it right there. His quiet farewell hangs heavy in the air. The sound of her footsteps is the only reply. He was dumped by his girlfriend of 5 years. In a fit of rage, he quit his dead-end job. He locked himself away, becoming a gaming addict. He moves to randomize his entire build. Park Hyun-myung declares that he's finally given up. With a decisive click, he confirms his choice. The system begins rearranging his stats for 100 SP, but an unexpected message stops him cold. A notification appears, hidden piece activated. He's officially invited to the world of Pangenia. Suddenly, his entire body begins to digitize. His eyes widen in absolute disbelief. A demonic voice roars a vow to burn worlds. Park Hyun-myung cries out, clutching his head in agony. He grits his teeth, confused by the sudden assault. Unseen voices are screaming inside his mind. The world around him begins to fade away. He collapses onto the floor of his messy room. His body lies still before the glowing monitor. A final cryptic message appears on the screen. It wishes him happiness in the world of Pangenia. He awakens in a new body, as a slave being whipped. His master threatens to feed him to a hydra. Park Hyun-myung recognizes the monster's name. A massive scaly foot shakes the ground. He's trapped in a line of marching slaves. They're being driven forward by cruel masters. He struggles to understand his new reality. Giant reptilian beasts pull massive carts. His hands are bound in heavy chains. A guard kicks him, yelling to get in line. The master threatens him with death, but a cold resolve hardens his gaze. A blistering sun hangs in the bright sky. Bare feet and worn boots drag through the dust. A new resolve hardens Park Hyun-myung's expression. He confirms the monster is the Hydreigon from the game. The wasteland is a perfect copy of the game's map. He mentally calls for his status window. To his shock, a system window actually appears. His mind reels at the impossible truth. The window reveals his insane build and a world-ending threat. The truth hits him, he's trapped inside the game. He stares in disbelief. The status window is real. His stats are all 12, breaking the game's normal limits. Even more shocking, he has 13 hidden traits. Suddenly, the ground begins to tremble violently. The sudden tremor catches everyone off guard. Even the slave drivers look on with alarm. A look of pure panic crosses the guard's face. Something massive is charging across the desert. The Desert Queen's army attacks, breaking a truce. Leading the charge, a woman warns them to fight or die. Park Hyun-myung's eyes widen in sudden recognition. He knows her, the infamous Snake Princess. Just then, a main quest window materializes. The mission is to survive or die in real life. But a new threat appears from the sky. A storm of arrows rains down on them. The volley slaughters slaves and guards alike. He stands frozen as bodies fall around him. Blood splatters across his horrified face. The brutal reality of this world sinks in. A hidden trait, Iron-Blooded Lord's Heart, activates. It makes him tireless and difficult to startle. It forces him to accept the brutal reality. He knows standing still is a death sentence. Without hesitation, he sprints across the sand. He dives for a sword lying on the ground. His hand closes firmly around the weapon's hilt. A strange power emanates from the blade. An enemy warrior immediately lunges to attack him. But Park Hyun-myung parries the blow with ease. He counters, drawing first blood from his foe. A strange power surges through his entire body. His eyes glow with an unnatural, focused light. More enemies rush in to overwhelm him. But Park Hyun-myung's face is a mask of cold resolve. One of his own guards screams at the worthless slave. The man brings a heavy axe down on his head. He dodges, shattering the man's weapon with a single blow. He realizes the first weapon he grabbed feels natural, as if he's a master swordsman. Another enemy warrior brings down a heavy axe. He sidesteps the attack with impossible speed, and he realizes there's something more. He sees a vision of countless weapons. It's as if he's mastered them all instantly. He deflects another strike with perfect timing. A strange energy flows through his core. He can perfectly predict the blade's path. He drops into a low stance for a counter. The blade plunges deep into the warrior's chest. He snatches an axe from a fallen enemy. Another warrior charges, but Park Hyun-myung is faster. The man's pleas are cut short by the blow. He stands panting, now dual-wielding weapons. A cold, focused fury burns in his eyes. The remaining enemies are stunned by his power. His dexterity trait skyrockets his weapon mastery. He's already reached the skill of a veteran knight. But he knows this miracle can only last so long. He faces an army of hundreds, completely alone. The scene shifts to a dark, ominous throne room. A masked queen asks about a failed expedition. She demands the truth from the Snake Princess. The princess confirms the mission was a disaster. The queen fears their city will be blamed for not helping. She orders the princess to hunt down every survivor. All evidence of their non-involvement must be erased. As a reward, the queen will lift her curse. The Snake Princess clenches her fist in silent fury. But she has no choice but to accept the mission. She knows this time she absolutely cannot fail. Her resolve is set, the queen's order echoing in her mind. She asks a subordinate if the cleanup is complete. Her soldier reports that one slave is still holding out. The news catches her completely by surprise. The battlefield is a wasteland of blood and bodies. The carnage stretches across the desert sand. In the center of the slaughter, Park Hyun-myung stands alone. He gasps for air, his body screaming in protest. But his eyes are shadowed, his will completely unbroken. A system message confirms his fatigue is completely gone. Her soldiers clear a path, ordering everyone aside. The Snake Princess appears atop a massive beast. Park Hyun-myung looks up, having expected her arrival. He knows her name, Isabella von Dersian. A system window reveals her terrifying status. She's level 8, he knows he stands no chance. In Pangenia, a level 8 is an absolute monster. Facing her head-on is a death sentence. The curse explains why she's trapped in this desert. Park Hyun-myung's eyes widen in disbelief. He stands his ground before the powerful princess. She admits his skills were interesting, but now she declares he has to die. His shock gives way to cold calculation. He remembers grinding for victory in the game. He is, after all, a true game freak. The Snake Princess lunges forward to attack. Her blade flashes down in a deadly arc, but he asks if she wants her curse lifted. Her deadly strike halts just before his throat. The cold steel stops a breath from his skin. The princess glares, her fury mixed with confusion. She demands to know what kind of being he is. His gaze is calm, holding a secret she needs. He reveals a hidden title, Reader of Stars. He declares himself a saint, the key to her freedom. His impossible offer leaves her completely stunned. Internally, he celebrates, his gamble worked. He recalls the saint is a vital NPC for breaking level caps. He knows the game's lore, only a saint can lift her curse. Isabella is desperate enough to believe his bluff. He's certain of this for one simple reason. He was the one who created her character. The curse was a game mechanic to trap early players. Players were meant to explore the world freely, but he abandoned her, leaving her caged in the desert. She breaks the silence, asking for his name. He gives her a new one, Randolph, a new identity for his life inside the game. Isabella weighs his impossible claim. She agrees to spare his life for now, but she delivers a chilling warning. If he's lying, she will tear him apart. She orders him treated as a guest. The quest is complete. The system declares his survival beyond perfect. Constellations upgrade his rewards with powerful new items. Park Hyun-myung collapses, realizing he actually survived. A quiet resolve settles in his eyes. He's taken to a grand castle under the moon. Park Hyun-myung relaxes in a lavish bath, studying his rewards. He's gained Hydreigon's soul and the legendary Michaela's sword. The sword is a crucial early game item he never expected. But another item lets him sync reality with Pangenia. Suddenly, the doors swing open, revealing 3 maids. They offer to wash him, their intentions clear. He asks them to wash only his feet, sensing a test. One of the maids begins to gently wash him. He knows any reaction will make Isabella's maids suspicious. A saint must be immune to lust. He must stay calm. His focus remains unbroken, even under pressure. Suddenly, one of the maids gasps in shock. A system window materializes right before his eyes. Park Hyun-myung stares, completely bewildered. It warns of Pangenia's collapse into the real world. At 10%, a fissure will tear reality apart. A new message opens the Hall of Fame rankings. The maid's question about the saint is ignored. His eyes widen in sudden, dawning horror. He recognizes 2 names. Other players are trapped here too. And on top of that, a new possibility appears. The system reveals a logout function is now active. He realizes he can finally escape this damn game. He orders the maids out to commune with the stars. He bluffs that his saintly power will fade without it. His authoritative tone leaves the maid completely stunned. They finally agree, leaving him to his communion. The door slides shut, leaving him completely alone. Park Hyun-myung sighs, his weak excuse actually worked. He was terrified of being trapped in this world forever. He declares his escape, reaching for the logout button. His finger presses down, confirming his choice. A chilling message appears. His character's death is his own. The monitor in his room flashes a blinding white. Suddenly, a strange sound comes from outside. He looks out to see his city engulfed in flames. People scream for help as monsters attack the streets. A giant insectoid creature rampages through the fire. An emergency alert confirms attacks across the country. He's back in his own body, witnessing the apocalypse. He watches as a monster scales his building. The creature lets out a blood-curdling scream. He stumbles backward, falling in pure terror. His mind races, trying to grasp the impossible. As he falls, something gold drops from his pocket. It's a gold ingot, an item from the game. He looks around, trying to ground himself. He questions if he just fell asleep gaming. He tells himself this isn't some web novel, but the proof of his dream sits on his desk. The gold ingot is proof it was all real. He scrambles back to his computer in a panic. But the game's homepage no longer exists. The world he knew has completely vanished. Suddenly, screams of terror echo from outside. A giant mantis impales a fleeing civilian. The street is already a scene of carnage. Police open fire, but their bullets are useless. His phone buzzes with a nationwide emergency alert. Park Hyun-myung watches the world he knows burn. He questions why Pangenia's monsters are here. The gold ingot on the floor confirms his fears. A system window confirms the worlds are merging. He's trapped with no idea what to do. His hand closes around the golden ingot. A sudden, desperate idea strikes him. If the monsters from the game are real, then his in-game items might be real too. The pouch glows with a familiar energy. He summons Michaela's sword and the Hydreigon's soul. He struggles to activate the items in the real world. But another item offers a terrifying solution. It can sync his real body with his game character. He activates the sync, merging with his character Randolph. A 24-hour timer begins to count down. He steps out into the war-torn city streets. A mother desperately flees with her child. The little girl asks when her dad is coming home, but a shower of falling debris rains down on them. The impact throws the child from her mother's arms. The mother is crushed, urging her daughter to escape. A figure lands nearby with impossible speed. A woman in a suit rushes to their side. The dying mother begs her to save the little girl. The woman's face hardens with grim resolve. She promises to protect the child as her mother dies. Her eyes lock onto an approaching threat. A plant-like monster strikes with brutal force. She braces for death, completely overwhelmed. But a blinding flash of light cuts through the chaos. The monster's claw descends to crush them both. But Park Hyun-myung's eyes glow with a strange power. He unleashes a storm of slashes, shredding the beast. The woman stares in absolute disbelief. She's alive, clutching the child as the monster falls. She turns, wondering who her savior could be. The creature's remains crumble into dust. Park Hyun-myung stands guard as a new threat appears. The woman screams a desperate warning. A massive energy beam fires from the new monster's eye. The woman stares up, completely bewildered by the new arrival. Behind him, the legendary Hydreigon is summoned from his soul. He calmly steps onto the beast's massive head. He orders her to stay back and protect the child. She can only watch, her mind reeling in disbelief. The impossible sight makes her question her own sanity. But the little girl runs back toward her dead mother. She watches helplessly as the child cries over the body. A sudden movement catches her attention. She wonders who this impossible man could be. The invasion isn't just local, it's a global apocalypse. But with the monsters came powerful warriors from the game. They wield impossible powers, their armor glowing with magic. One man rallies survivors, promising to keep them safe. His heroic speech is broadcast across a phone screen, but a man in a suit scoffs at their foolishness. He holds a glowing item, his player name revealed, Massacre. He knows the worlds will soon become one. The player rankings have finally updated after 2 years, and a new name, Randolph, has taken the top spot. He's the legendary player who almost cleared the game. Despite his failure, he's the undisputed top player. Massacre realizes the top player was summoned into the game. His appearance reset, but he kept his powerful talents. A predatory grin spreads across Massacre's face. Back in the bath, Park Hyun-myung connects the dots. Players are being summoned into the real world. The impossible truth begins to take shape. He remembers his final character, the one who nearly won. But his own NPC allies betrayed him at the very end. He realizes his enemies were other summoned players. They were hunting him then, and they're hunting him now. With the worlds merging, he can't just hide and log out. To protect both worlds, he must get stronger fast. Isabella asks if his communion is finished. He declares he's ready to keep his promise. But he has one condition for her. Her maids stand by awaiting her command. He demands she take him to the sanctuary. She calls him crazy, but he needs a class from there. A predatory grin spreads across his face. A new quest confirms his goal, obtain a class. They arrive at the sanctuary under a full moon. Isabella steps through a fresh pool of blood. She has already slaughtered all of the guards. Her eyes burn with cold, lethal fury. Park Hyun-myung has never felt safer with an ally. He repeats his demand, stunning her into silence. She calls him crazy for wanting to enter, but he knows his true power lies within. He tells her of a hidden star. He's the only player who knows its location. She panics, the sanctuary is forbidden to her. He knows his life hung on that single bluff. Now they stand before the sanctuary's entrance. A dark staircase descends into the holy ground. A new quest begins, but he's far too weak. His giant's resistance trait shields him from the poison. With Isabella, this is a huge opportunity. But he's not here for simple rewards. The quest is simple, obtain a class. He's aiming for a very specific job. He leaps down into the dark chasm. Isabella watches, completely caught off guard. He lands safely on a hidden ledge below. A small, knowing smile crosses her face, but she grabs him, questioning his strange path. She explains the bridge ahead is a deadly trap. He just grins, asking if she's afraid. His casual question leaves her completely stunned. She boasts of her fearlessness, but he knows the truth. He offers to carry her across the dangerous path. His casual suggestion sends her into a sputtering rage. He warns her they're out of time, the queen's trackers are coming. Her anger fades, replaced by quiet, reluctant acceptance. She climbs onto his back, complaining the entire time. He tells her to hold on tight, planting his feet. With impossible speed, he sprints across the pillars. She screams in panic, yelling he's going the wrong way. He leaps off the path, plunging into the abyss below. A hidden trait mutation suddenly activates. His eye glows, letting him see hidden things. He's not falling, he's on an invisible path. Isabella is stunned, he knows a secret she does. He smirks, teasing her about her fear of heights. His casual confidence infuriates and confuses her. It feels less like arrogance, more like familiarity. She asks if they have met somewhere before. He cryptically says they haven't met in this world, but he tells her that he has seen her before. He tells her she has never truly seen him. A vortex of energy surrounds their final leap. They land safely on a hidden, flower-strewn path. A domain barrier hides this place from outsiders. But from the darkness, something begins to stir. A single glowing red eye opens in the shadows. The stone wall crumbles as a new threat emerges. An army of stone guardians awakens from its slumber. The sanctuary's next guardian is a powerful golem. He knows at his level a single hit is fatal. He mocks her, but she tells him to get ready. The massive golem lunges down to crush them. Its stone fist clenches with immense power. Isabella stares up as the attack descends, but a predatory grin spreads across her face. Her arm transforms, hardening into solid rock. She meets the golem's punch with her own, declaring the fight will be over quickly. The impact shatters the golem's fist. The Guardian's eye glows, readying another attack. She moves like a blur, dismantling the golem. Park Hyunmyoung smirks. He created this absurd power. Beams of light wrap around the golem's head. The stone guardian is completely overwhelmed. She unleashes the full power of a level 8. As the golem crumbles, a system window appears. It offers him the Golem Maker class for her kill. The Golem Maker is a rare, upper-tier class. But this isn't the class he came here for. Someone else here can give him the class he needs. Isabella stands ready, a dark aura swirling around her. A malevolent energy floods the entire hidden sanctuary. A system message warns of the Old King's anger. Park Hyunmyeon looks up, knowing what's coming. A giant serpent, Old King Dramat, finally appears. Its overwhelming presence makes him break into a sweat. He recognizes it as the true sanctuary guardian. He smirks, telling Isabella not to worry about a fight. He claims the beast is friendly just as it attacks. The massive energy blast sends Isabella flying backward. She digs her daggers in, skidding across the ground. Park Hyunmyeong watches, a confused smile on his face. Isabella's eyes widen in absolute panic shock. He questions the beast's hostility, but she screams at him. The serpent demands the challenger prove their worth. It accuses her of trying to flee after beating the golem. The massive serpent's tail whips through the air. It slams down as it declares the unworthy will die here. She begs for help, but he's lost in his own memories. A sudden, horrifying realization dawns in his eyes. He remembers the lore of the Guardian, Dramat. The last time he was here, he was a level 10 character. Back then, the massive serpent was a peaceful guide. He realizes the beast only attacks the weak. A sudden, desperate idea flashes in his mind. Meanwhile, Isabella is slammed across the ground. She struggles to her feet, gritting her teeth in pain. The sanctuary's toxic energy is weakening her body. She collapses, regretting she ever trusted his bluff. But Park Hyunmyeong screams for the beast to stop. The serpent's massive tail freezes mid-strike. Its glowing red eye locks onto Park Hyunmyeong. The beast demands to know how he knows its true name. He declares that its master, Wilhelm, has returned. Isabella can only watch, stunned by his audacity. The serpent questions his impossible claim to be Wilhelm. It roars in his face, a test of his resolve. The beast scoffs, calling him weaker than the Watcher Golem. It remembers Wilhelm as a perfect, superhuman master. But Wilhelm failed his quest and died a flawless death. The serpent roars, calling him an unworthy worm. But Park Hyunmyeong stands his ground, unflinching. He commands the beast to honor its contract. Dramat freezes, demanding to know his secret. No one is supposed to know the contract exists. A system window reveals the sanctuary's ancient rule. Breaking the contract means death by a powerful curse. His gamble paid off, the game's rules still apply. The serpent demands to know what kind of being he is. He tells it to lead him to the star for judgment. Dramat warns that the star will burn him alive. Park Hyunmyeong taunts the beast, asking if it's afraid. The serpent scoffs at his impossible confidence. It reluctantly agrees, bound by the secret contract. The star itself will deliver his final judgment. Isabella stares in awe at their destination. The serpent guides them into a vast, dark chamber. He points toward a distant altar in the darkness. On it rests a skull, the so-called star. He corrects her, it's the face of someone named Lei. The goddess Lee's body was split into 32 stars. These stars are the key to ultimate power. He reaches for the skull, his goal in sight. But a violent energy explodes from the artifact. He screams as the holy fire engulfs him. Dramat mocks him, the star has rejected the worm. His silhouette is barely visible in the inferno. But he grits his teeth, refusing to let go. He knows the star only kills those who skip Dramat. The skull cracks, revealing the class he seeks, Void. The skull shatters, unlocking its true power. All of his hidden traits resonate with the star. He is reborn as one who stands against ruin. His magic is replaced by a new star force. He gains permanent stats with every star he finds. A confident smirk spreads across his face. He has become the star's inheritor. Isabella stares, unable to believe what she's seen. The blinding light finally begins to fade. He asks what she'll do once she's finally free. She wants to leave the desert and find her family. Park Hyunmyeong offers her a way out, but with a condition. She must serve him for 1 year to earn her freedom. A memory of kneeling before the queen flashes through her mind. Isabella stands silently, weighing his impossible offer. Her hand clenches into a fist, her resolve hardening. He promises he's not a queen, he doesn't lie. Her eyes widen, his words striking a nerve. A quiet breath escapes her lips as she decides. She kneels before him, accepting his terms. He commends Isabella for her smart choice. He reminds the serpent of its true master. The ancient beast stammers in submission. Park Hyun-myung commands it to bow before him. A system window confirms his unique success. Powerful constellations are now watching his progress. But back in the throne room, rage is brewing. The queen learns Isabella entered the sanctuary. She furiously orders them both to be captured. The system confirms his rewards are upgraded again. More powerful constellations are now watching his journey. The scene shifts back to the modern world. The setting is a quiet, modern coffee shop. A group of players debates Randolph's true identity. They realize the legendary phantom has finally reappeared. She scoffs, remembering their years of failed searches. She suggests luring him out through the secret auction. She knows he'll need powerful items for the next quest. Their plan is to set a trap in the auction house. They'll attach a tracking talisman to hunt him down. But one player doubts the plan will work on a veteran. The woman suggests he might even walk into the trap on purpose. She gushes, completely obsessed with his legendary boldness. She's determined to recruit him for their guild at any cost. The scene shifts to a dark, blood-stained alleyway. A new ranking update puts Randolph at the very top. The player Massacre is stunned by his impossible score. His auction rights are gone, but he has a new plan. The bloody corpse of another player lies at his feet. He'll just kill his way to the top of the leaderboard. A system window confirms the subquest is complete. He's the first player to ever clear the sanctuary. He rides the massive serpent with Isabella in tow. The quest completion grants him a level up. His status window reveals he's now level 3. His many talents make leveling much harder, but his focus is on the main quest reward. He scored 2 items far beyond his current level. The first is the Shadow Cloak, granting invisibility. Suddenly, Dramut lands with a ground-shaking thud. The serpent's eye snaps open, sensing a new threat. Ethereal figures race through the darkness. An army of assassins closes in on their position. Isabella warns her new master of the intruders. He realizes the queen's trackers have finally arrived. She warns him that their numbers will be overwhelming. Isabella doubts they can win, even with the Guardian. But Park Hyun-myung asks why they should even fight. His casual confidence leaves Isabella completely stunned. He leaps away, leaving Dramut to handle the trackers. He orders the massive serpent to do its job. The trackers panic as the giant beast appears. Isabella worries this is just an advance party. But Park Hyun-myung knows they must escape now. He explains the Guardian is bound to the sanctuary. Their only escape is a warp gate at the desert's edge. With her curse lifted, she can finally use it. But the ancient gate takes time to activate. Isabella steels herself for the coming fight. He confirms their freedom is just beyond the gate. Isabella asks how long they have to hold out. He says they have about half a day. He needs to log out to check on the real world. He asks if she can protect him while he's gone. Her hand tightens around her dagger's hilt. She leaps away, vowing to keep him safe. The system logs him out, warning about the secret auction. He wakes up back in his own bed. The switch between bodies leaves him disoriented. He immediately reaches for his phone. Park Hyun-myung checks his phone. No alerts, so reality is safe for now. System warns Pangenia's collapse at 7.66%. More monsters and players. Suddenly his phone buzzes, catching him off guard. Park Hyun-myung stares, recognizing the caller, Kim Seo-yeon. Meanwhile, a bright, ordinary coffee shop scene unfolds. Kim Seo-yeon argues fiercely on the phone about a breakup and money. She continues her angry rant, stunning the nearby barista. She abruptly hangs up, refusing further calls today. Annoyed, Kim Seo-yeon calls the person a complete jerk. She recalls Park Hyun-myung, who always listened despite his flaws. She wonders if she should have stayed with him after all. He arrives and she admits she only left him for money. He cuts to the chase, asking why she called him here. She notices something different about him, but he's impatient. She calls him stubborn, a faint smile on her lips. She praises his reliability, how he always came when called. She confesses her deep regret over their breakup. But her words only seem to annoy Park Hyun-myung. He completely ignores her, his attention elsewhere. He stands to leave, stunning her with his abruptness. She screams that she misses him, desperate for a reaction. He coldly asks if her new boyfriend knows about this meeting. He calls her out for her social media posts, stunning her. He turns to leave, ignoring her desperate pleas. He's surprisingly calm, realizing his character's growth affects him. Suddenly, a man outside accuses Seo-yeon of stalking him. The thug grabs her, threatening her with a knife. He raises the blade, screaming that he'll kill her. Park Hyun-myung's eyes narrow with cold focus. His hand darts out, stopping the blade with impossible speed. The thug grabs Seo-yeon, demanding to know who interfered. Park Hyun-myung tells the man he's had enough. The thug struggles, yelling for him to let go. He twists the man's wrist with superhuman strength. He realizes his real body has permanently changed. He shoves the thug aside, checking on Seo-yeon. She looks up, tearfully thanking him for saving her. but he just stares, a strange look on his face. He recognizes her from the day the monsters attacked. He dismisses her, saying she just looks familiar. The enraged thug lunges forward with the knife. Park Hyun-myung sidesteps, sending the man flying. He clenches his fist, feeling his newfound power. He brings his fist down, shattering the man's hand. Seo-yin can only stare in stunned silence. Park Hyun-myung glares down, his demeanor ice cold. The police arrive, quickly cuffing the attacker. But they tell Park Hyun-myung he's coming with them. Seo-yin argues, but the cops insist it was assault. He sighs, knowing he can't waste time on this. The officer insists he's just following procedure. But a woman steps in, introducing herself as a reporter. She threatens to expose their incompetence on the news. Park Hyun-myung recognizes her. She saved the child. The cops back down, taking the real culprit away. The reporter, Kim Hana, thanks him for his help. She hands him a card, a reporter for Dimension Warriors. She explains it's the name for the monster-fighting heroes. He realizes this is what the world calls the players. But as she asks for his number, Seo-yin interrupts them. Seo-yin grabs his arm, asking if he's okay. The reporter dismisses her, asking for his number. Seo-yin watches in stunned silence as he agrees. Kim Hana saves his contact, noting his name. She offers to treat him to a meal tomorrow. Seo-yin stares, asking how he could do this. Her face twists into a furious, hateful snarl. As the reporter walks away, he ignores Seo-yin. Kim Hana stops on the street, checking her phone. She answers a call from an unknown colleague. Her chief has a new, high-stakes assignment for her. She's ordered to interview the legendary hero, Gracia. The hero who saved America has personally requested her. And now, the legendary player is coming to Korea. Back in Pangenia, the ground is littered with corpses. Isabella's eyes are cold, her resolve unbroken. She has been defending the gate while he was gone. Bloodied but unbowed, she stands ready for the next wave. The Queen's main forces finally arrive to capture them. But Isabella scoffs, ready to defy her former masters. The Queen's forces descend, screaming for the traitor's head. Isabella stands guard over Park Hyun-myung as he returns. She's exhausted and bloodied, but her will is unbroken. Just in time, the ancient warp gate begins to activate. A system window confirms their escape route is now open. He places a hand on her shoulder, getting her attention. He praises her for holding the line while he was gone. With a confident smirk, he confirms his task is complete. The enemy commander orders his forces to attack at once. His hand glows as he prepares to keep his own promise. He clenches his fist, unleashing a torrent of power. He activates Star Slash, consuming all his energy. The Queen's forces scream as they're vaporized. He calls it their moment of liberation. Isabella recognizes the legendary power of a saint. He gives her one last chance to turn back. But her resolve is absolute. She refuses to leave. A small, determined smile crosses her face. She vows to stay with him as they enter the gate. The star's blessing nullifies her curse, warping them to Arcana. A system window welcomes them to Arcana, the Golden City. The streets are bustling with merchants and travelers. Park Hyun-myung and Isabella take in the new sights. He explains this as a city where gold is everything. Isabella proudly presents a bag of 300 gold coins. But Park Hyun-myung knows it's not nearly enough. She thinks it's enough for a room and a meal. He explains that amount could buy 10 slaves back home. But here, a single loaf of bread costs 50 gold. He just smirks, saying money is lying everywhere. He points toward the massive, glowing casino sign. Isabella blushes, completely baffled by his confidence. The glowing sign promises fortunes for the lucky. He stands with unwavering, almost arrogant confidence. He just smirks, boasting about his incredible luck. A system window confirms his hidden golden blessing trait. In this city of pleasure, only one law truly matters. Here, gold is the ultimate measure of a person's worth. All that wealth is concentrated in the Hudson Casino. But a stern-faced guard immediately blocks their path. The guard demands a 10,000 gold deposit to enter. Isabella panics, they only have 100 gold left. The other guests mock them, calling them beggars. But Park Hyun-myung offers an item as collateral instead. He reveals the tear of the Fairy Queen, an immortal item. The guard stammers, stunned by the impossible treasure. His tone changes, immediately escorting them to the VIP room. She asks what he just handed over so casually. He reveals it's a 1,000,000 gold reward from the sanctuary. He just smirks, ready to win back the deposit. The roulette wheel spins in a blur. The ball slows, dancing between the numbers. It lands perfectly, another impossible. The crowd erupts, calling him a god of gambling. He's turned a few coins into over 1,000,000 gold. His golden blessing trait makes it all too easy. Isabella celebrates their win, but he quickly corrects her. The manager bows, banning him from the casino for life. His luck is so good, it's bankrupting the house. But his winning streak has attracted unwanted attention. The manager politely tells them their time is up. Isabella's eyes burn with barely contained rage. Park Hyun-myung agrees to leave for now, but he demands a meeting with the casino's boss. He smirks, clarifying he's not asking for a favor. He declares the boss will be begging to see him. The owner uses a skill to analyze the rare item. He confirms the gem is real, stunned by its origin. The tear is a treasure only the strongest can obtain. After years of searching, it has finally appeared. The manager reports to the casino owner, Mr. Hudson. He relays Park Hyun-myung's incredibly bold claim. A slow, dangerous smile spreads across Hudson's face. The meeting is set, a tense standoff in the VIP room. Park Hyun-myung sits calmly, Isabella standing guard. Hudson sizes him up, doubting he's strong enough. He asks Park Hyun-myung to explain his arrogance. Our boy simply says he knew Hudson would want to meet. He then reveals he knows Hudson needs the tear. The owner admits he collects rare items and wants to buy it. Park Hyun-myung agrees to sell, but only for the right price. Hudson offers a generous 2 million gold for the tear. Isabella is completely stunned by the massive sum, but Park Hyun-myung demands 20 million gold instead. The manager scoffs, that price is absurd for a simple item. Park Hyun-myung says he knows Hudson believes it's worth it. He knows it's more than just a collector's piece. It's the key Hudson needs to enter the city council. His gaze is sharp, his knowledge absolute. The tier lets non-combatants bypass level restrictions. He reveals Hudson's true goal, impressing his fiancée's family. His gaze is cold, his knowledge absolute. He remembers her, Serengeti, a marquis's only daughter. Known as the Snow White Knight, she joined his expedition. She sacrificed her legs to save him in battle. He once dismissed her sacrifice as a simple game event. But after Wilhelm's death, everything changed for him. He realized the NPCs were actually other players. He recalls her last request, to deliver a locket. The locket holds a photo of her and Hudson. He questions the lore, this detail is new to him. In the game he knew, she never had a fiancé. He realizes another player must have changed her story. The owner demands to know how he learned his secret. He realizes Hudson is a player who arrived before him. He corrects him, claiming he didn't know, he heard it. He claims the star told him everything, stunning Hudson. He offers to grant his wish, but only for a price. The condition, Hudson must tell him his entire life story. He warns him every word must be true for the star. Hudson considers the strange, dangerous request. Park Hyun-myung knows the risk of revealing himself. He knows about the hunters who execute players. Their methods are varied, caution is the only defense. Revealing your identity in Pangenia is a death sentence. But Hudson knows Serengeti is more than an NPC. He opens a locket, revealing her smiling face. The tense silence hangs heavy in the VIP room. Hudson agrees, deciding to start with Serengeti. He mentions the Demon Realm, a name Park Hyun-myung knows well. Hudson corrects him, the expedition had 8 heroes. He reveals the mission failed due to internal conflict. Park Hyun-myung is stunned by this altered history. Hudson names one, Gracia, the strongest after Wilhelm. A news report shows a hero riding a giant monster. An assistant confirms Gracia's meeting with Kim Hana. His aide questions his sudden trip to Korea. But Gracia must confirm something in person. He believes this man is the friend he's been searching for. Park Hyun-myung quietly processes this shocking new lore. The scene shifts back to a modern city street. Park Hyun-myung looks utterly exhausted during his meal. The reporter asks if he's okay. He blames his fatigue. He recalls Hudson's tearful story, keeping him in game. He questions the expensive meal she's buying for him. She insists it's a thank you for his heroic act, but his attention is suddenly drawn elsewhere. He recognizes his ex, Seoyeon, at a nearby table. She glares daggers at them, a bitter coincidence. He recognizes her new boyfriend from social media. The new boyfriend, Young Jinwoo, glares with pure rage. The reporter senses the tension, offering to move. But Park Hyun-myung says there's no need to leave. The boyfriend stomps over, shouting his name. He looms over the table, accusing him of stalking Seoyeon. He calls him a shameless bastard for pestering her. The entire restaurant watches the public humiliation. Jinwoo claims he heard Park Hyun-myung begged her not to leave. Park Hyun-myung's eyes narrow, he understands now. Across the room, Seoyeon smirks, enjoying the show. The boyfriend threatens to kill him, calling him a worthless worm. The reporter stands, but Jinwoo insults her as a rented date. She fires back, saying she invited him here as a thank you. He scoffs, throwing a wad of cash directly in her face. Park Hyun-myung's patience finally snaps. He strikes with blinding speed, slapping Jinwoo hard. The reporter stares, stunned by his sudden violence. Enraged, Jinwoo points out that he threw the first punch. Park Hyun-myung grabs his collar, telling him to clench his teeth. Her eyes widen in shock at his cold threat. He sends the boyfriend flying across the restaurant. Park Hyun-myung calmly says he's not innocent either. The boyfriend's face contorts with pure rage, but his punch is stopped with impossible ease. Repeating his warning, he slams the man down. Jinwoo trembles, stunned by his inhuman grip. Seoyeon screams at him, furious at the humiliation. Park Hyun-myung offers to finish this outside. The man seethes, humiliated in front of Seoyeon. He reaches into his pocket, vowing revenge. He pulls out a glowing transformation crystal. A blinding flash slams Park Hyun-myung to the ground. His eyes widen, questioning the sudden flash of light. The restaurant patrons stare in absolute disbelief. Jinwoo transforms, revealing he's a dimension warrior. He glares down, daring Park Hyun-myung to keep talking. He unleashes a powerful, glowing strike. Park Hyun-myung lies motionless on the restaurant floor. He smirks, confirming his opponent is a player. Kim Hana questions why he's pretending to be weak. His Great Sage trait activates, analyzing the foe. A system window explains Pangenia's leveling curve. More talents mean more power but slower growth. Jinwoo's few talents allowed him to level quickly. But Park Hyun-myung knows the truth, he's a coward. He survived the main quest through sheer dumb luck. Once he could log out, he never returned to the game. Park Hyun-myung understands not everyone could adapt. Seoyeon pulls her boyfriend away, ending the fight. Jinwoo gives one last threat, warning him to stay away. He knows the fool is wasting his limited real-world power. The reporter rushes to his side, asking if he's okay. She wants to call the police, but he stops her. He insists they just finish their meal, his face grim. Suddenly, the entire restaurant begins to shake violently. He recognizes the feeling, a look of dread on his face. The ground cracks and shatters beneath their feet. A giant monster erupts from the floor. The erosion has begun. She panics, but he quickly covers her mouth. He tells her to wait as chaos erupts around them. Park Hyun-myung kicks Jinwoo to safety as the ceiling collapses. Giant worms erupt, but they aren't attacking anyone. He explains they're scavengers, harmless unless provoked. Across the room, Jinwoo stands frozen in fear. Seoyeon screams for her new boyfriend to do something. The panicked player unleashes a powerful energy blast. Park Hyun-myung curses, the fool just attacked it. His attack slices through the worm with surprising ease. Jinwoo stares, stunned by his own incredible power. He wonders if he's actually stronger than he thought. Drunk on power, he vows to kill every monster. He carves through another worm, a hero to the crowd. His ego swells, these creatures are nothing to him. But Park Hyun-myung warns the reporter to run. He tells her to get as far away as she can. Suddenly, a thick red fog envelops the room. Jinwoo curses, completely blinded by the mist. A shadowy hand reaches out from the darkness. It clamps over his eyes, catching him by surprise. A single red eye glows menacingly in the fog. A voice booms from the fog, demanding to know who. An elite monster, Chid Mamba, appears, enraged for its children. Its killing intent paralyses Jinwoo with absolute terror. The monster orders its remaining spawn to kill them all. Park Hyun-myung keeps the reporter quiet, her eyes wide with panic. He warns her not to move, a new threat in the fog. Jinwoo looks up, seeing the monster's glowing blade. Its eyes burn with hatred as it prepares the final blow. But he's seeing a hallucination, a simple worm in its place. His body freezes as the real monster strikes him down. The monster's blade slices through the arrogant player. Blood splatters across its face, its red eyes glowing. Suddenly, a new figure declares the monster crossed a line. A swordsman steps from the shadows, calling it out. The monster snarls, its sharp teeth bared. A low growl rumbles through the destroyed restaurant. Chid Mamba laughs, amused by the human's boldness. It sizes him up, finding him interesting. The raid monster points, calling him a tasty meal. But the swordsman's gaze remains cold and unwavering. The reporter screams for Park Hyun-myung in the fog. She calls his name, her voice filled with panic. But she's completely alone in the crimson mist. The swordsman lunges, a blur of golden light. He used the fog to transform, knowing this is no easy fight. But he knows the monster's attack patterns. Without that knowledge, he'd already be dead. The monster snarls, confused by his impossible speed. He dodges again, anticipating every single strike. The swordsman grits his teeth, the fight just beginning. Chid Mamba sneers, knowing his attacks are futile. He leaps through a storm of shadowy strikes. But he knows every move, every dodge pattern. He anticipates the monster's next deadly attack. A spray of corrosive blood erupts from the beast. He raises his sword to block the incoming torrent. He knows direct contact means a crippling debuff. The toxic blood splatters across the battlefield. A massive spike erupts, barely missing him. Park Hyun-myung is stunned by the relentless assault. He's surprised the monster is so fast. Chid Mamba mocks his impressive dodging skills. It gloats that his attacks are completely useless. But Park Hyun-myung remains calm under pressure. He vows to land a hit using a powerful talisman. The tier of the Fairy Queen lowers equip requirements. He equips the legendary Michaela's armor set. The full set bonus unlocks incredible new abilities. He apologizes to Hudson for using the precious tier. The Hermes boots grant him godlike speed. He activates the boot's swift ability to keep his promise. He becomes a blur, weaving past the monster's claws. His eyes lock on, tracking the monster's every move. He lands with enough force to shatter the ground. The legendary armor cracks the pavement with ease. He spins, charging his sword with crackling energy. His eyes glow as he unleashes the powerful strike. The monster stares, shocked as the blade connects. It roars in fury, finally feeling the sting of pain. The sword pierces its hide, drawing first blood. He unleashes a flurry of blindingly fast strikes. His eyes glow with cold, calculated fury. He's locked onto his target, ready to counter. But the monster retaliates with a devastating blow. The impact sends a shockwave through the restaurant. Park Hyunmyoung grits his teeth, absorbing the force. He crosses his arms, preparing a new skill. The Michaela armor set activates its special option. He unleashes the power of the celestial dragon. The monster sneers, impressed by his hidden power. The monster unleashes a vortex of crimson energy. But Park Hyunmyoung recognizes its final attack pattern. He knows he just has to endure this last assault. He braces himself against the overwhelming force. The monster is certain this attack cannot be dodged. It screams for his death, unleashing the full vortex. The crimson energy converges into a single, deadly point. But his armor's synergy activates a new skill, Gale. The monster is stunned as wind blows its fog away. He recalls its four patterns, knowing what comes next. He knows the monster's confusion is his only opening. He unleashes everything, knowing this is his only chance. The monster panics, realizing its fatal mistake. A pillar of light obliterates the monster's head. He stands over the corpse, his sword dripping blood. He fulfilled his promise to end the beast. System alerts pop up as the red fog recedes. The reporter stares, completely baffled by the aftermath. She spots a mysterious cloaked figure in the ruins. The figure pulls his hood low, hiding his identity. She recognizes the mysterious cloaked swordsman. Kim Hana calls out, asking if he's her savior. He activates his invisibility cloak to escape. He vanishes into thin air as she pleads. She can only stare in stunned disbelief. The mysterious hero disappears without a trace. A moment later, a familiar figure steps forward. A voice calls her name from behind. Park Hyunmyoung appears, feigning concern. He claims they were separated in the chaos. Her eyes widen, a sudden realization dawning. He says he's just glad they're both okay. But she spots the blood on his hand, asking if he's hurt. He claims it's just monster blood that splashed on him. She points out his clothes are clean, but his nails are bloody. She recalls how calm he was when the monster first appeared. The reporter's questions are getting dangerously close. He tries to laugh it off, calling himself a coward. But her expression says it all, he's suspicious. She connects the dots. He appeared right after her savior vanished. The next day dawns after the chaotic battle. But the world is already reeling from another attack. Warriors had warned this would happen, urging cooperation. Fear grips the city, leaving the streets desert. The news blames the government for downplaying the threat. In a tense meeting, officials discuss the fallout. One man admits they were too relaxed before. Another says the first attack felt distant to most. The government tried to pretend everything was normal. But now everyone knows this is the new reality. A new player alliance leader sees his opportunity. His aide knows they must recruit talent fast. She suspects the hero is the top-ranked player, Randolph. But his low level makes his powerful gear impossible. The leader insists they need this player no matter how. She theorizes the hero and Randolph are the same person. He vows to recruit him before anyone else can. They need him to stop the coming rift. Back in Pangenia, Hudson stares in disbelief. He screams, asking if he used the Fairy Queen's tear. Park Hyunmyoung calmly admits he used the item. He clarifies he only promised to help, not give it away. He claims he's just removing a pointless hope. Hudson's face is filled with distrust and anger. But our boy just smirks, promising to show him why. He leads them away from the casino's luxury. Their destination, the sewers beneath the Golden City. Hudson demands to know why they're in this place. Park Hyunmyoung explains he's setting a waypoint here. He reveals a teleport book, a key to his plan. He explains the book allows one teleport per day. Hudson panics, calling the plan a suicide mission. He says the bosses here require a full raid party. But Park Hyunmyoung simply steps forward. He knows the risks as glowing eyes appear. A mutant sewer rat emerges from the darkness. Its glowing red eye locks onto them. The beast slams its massive paw down. A shockwave of green energy erupts. The blast sends all three of them flying. Hudson panics, explaining they need a full team for this. He questions why Park Hyunmyoung would be so reckless. But Park Hyunmyoung just calls out to Isabella. He gives a direction as she leaps to intercept. The monster screeches as her blade finds its mark. He explains that once you know the pattern, speed is useless. And Isabella's combat training is on another level. Hudson can only stare in stunned disbelief. Park Hyun-myung turns to face the casino owner. He tells him not to doubt he will keep his promise. Park Hyun-myung smirks, promising he always gets the job done. Hudson can only stare, completely overwhelmed by his confidence. Back in the real world, investigators find no trace of the hero. The player alliance captain is frustrated by the dead end. His aide suggests questioning Jinwoo, but the captain refuses. Jinwoo is in a hospital bed, driven insane by losing his arms. The memory of the monster has completely broken him. The aide suggests questioning the reporter Kim Hana, but the captain warns him she has powerful backing. The legendary hero Gracia is giving her an exclusive interview. The legendary hero Gracia arrives to a media frenzy. He introduces himself, his gaze intense and unwavering. Kim Hana formally greets him, trying to hide her nerves. Onlookers question why he'd personally request her. The alliance leader knows it's best to stay away from him. A single misstep could bring his wrath upon them all. Elsewhere, a player sits defeated in a blood-soaked room. Another man screams, questioning the illegal player kill. He reminds his attacker that Gracia himself forbade PK. The threat of Gracia's judgment hangs in the air. The attacker mocks him, saying Gracia won't save him. He walks away as a system window confirms his new rank. Elsewhere, Gracia connects Randolph to the mysterious Phantom. He knows Phantom will head for the main quest, and Gracia vows to be there to kill him. The scene shifts to a vast, dusty chamber. A massive, three-headed dragon emerges from the smoke. Two figures sit calmly before the colossal beast. Back in the sewer, Park Hyun-myung explains his plan. The massive sewer rat lies dead at their feet. He holds the glowing core from the defeated beast. A system window reveals the core can strengthen beasts. He realizes this is the key to evolving his Hydreigon. He asks if Hudson has settled his affairs at the casino. Hudson admits the casino means nothing next to Serengeti. He declares his full trust, vowing to follow Park Hyun-myung. He recalls their impossible skill, knowing this is his only chance. Park Hyun-myung simply says he understands. He tells Isabella to focus on her path to becoming a saint. Isabella asks where they're headed next, but he's surprised. He calls their destination a masterpiece to grant wishes. Their destination, the legendary Tower of Spirits. They arrive in a sun-drenched, mystical forest. The group looks up, awed by the towering trees. But Hudson is skeptical, it just looks like a forest. Park Hyun-myung knows this place is far from ordinary. This is the entrance where the ancient spirit trees grow. These trees can open a path to the spirit realm, and that path is the only way to reach the tower. But as he touches the tree, something is wrong. He realizes the ancient tree is already dead. In fact, the entire forest is slowly dying. He decides on a drastic, forceful method. Hudson questions his sudden, strange plan. He grips his sword, channeling raw power. With a determined glare, he prepares to strike. Isabella can only watch in stunned silence. A massive arc of golden energy erupts. The ancient spirit tree is felled in a single blow. Hudson panics, questioning his reckless act. Hudson screams that he just destroyed their only way. But a new threat emerges from the shadows. An arrow flies, stopped by a flash of steel. Isabella's blade intercepts the deadly projectile. She moves to protect the stunned casino owner. Her stance is firm, ready for the next attack. A new figure emerges, impressed by her skill. The master of the forest, a high dryad, appears. Hudson panics, realizing who they've angered. The dryad says he was showing them mercy before. The dryad snarls, furious he cut down a spirit tree. Suddenly, dozens of forest keepers appear. Hudson counts at least 50 archers in the trees. Isabella knows they're doomed if they all attack. Park Hyun-myung steps forward, taking full responsibility. He knew this was the only way to draw him out. He calmly asks the master of the forest to talk, but the dryad refuses, drawing his glowing bow. Park Hyun-myung asks if he'll just let his forest die. The dryad is stunned into silence by his words. Park Hyun-myung makes a bold promise to revive the forest. He explains that without new spirits, it will surely die. The dryad calls it nonsense, only the chosen may enter. He scoffs, doubting a human could ever enter the tower. Entering the tower requires rare talents and countless quests. Only a handful of players have ever succeeded. But Park Hyun-myung activates his hidden druid trait. The dryad hesitates, asking if he can truly save them. But another keeper screams for them to be killed. A volley of arrows rains down on the group. The keepers scream for blood, but the dryad is silent. He raises a hand, silencing the entire forest. His command is absolute, the archers stand down. The master of the forest steps forward alone. He warns Park Hyun-myung that he must keep his promise. Our boy simply says he always keeps his promises. The dryad still doubts him but will wait to kill him. He tells them to follow, leading them deeper inside. A brilliant light shines through the canopy above. They arrive at a clearing with a strange pile of rocks. This pile of rocks is the remains of a stone spirit. The dryad says its corpse is the only way to open the gate. He warns that failure means becoming fertilizer for the forest, but success will bring a very fitting reward. A new quest appears: save the forest or fight it to the death. Park Hyunmyoung tells them to prepare themselves. He unleashes his power, vowing to open the portal. A blinding flash of golden light erupts from the stones. The entire group is pulled into the vortex of light. Hudson grits his teeth, fighting the immense pressure. His eyes glow, channeling immense golden energy. A system window confirms the portal is now open. Isabella looks around, stunned by the cosmic space. Park Hyunmyoung says this is just the entrance. To enter the tower, they must first get permission. A tiny helmeted spirit of fire appears before them. Isabella is charmed, calling the little creature adorable. The spirit floats down, examining Park Hyunmyoung. It stares at him with simple, curious eyes. The spirit senses his druid trait and grants him entry. The spirit asks if he trusts his companions with his life. He confirms, and the spirit grants them all entry. But there's a catch: they must enter the tower alone. He calmly tells Isabella he will be right back. Hudson screams as his body begins to disintegrate. The spirit explains that time flows differently here. It wishes the druid good luck before fading away. A system window details the performance-based rewards. Park Hyunmyoung stands before a massive, terrifying gate. He recognizes the Tower of Spirits, but it's changed. He stands before a massive gate, questioning its nature. The gate's form depends on the climber's elemental affinity. For Hudson, his affinity creates the gate of water. Each gate presents trials tailored to the individual. But this gate is unlike anything he has ever seen. The gate's eyes flash, a powerful energy awakening. It marvels that he holds even conflicting elements. The gate senses something more than just the void element. It declares the name of this trial, the Gate of Chaos. The gate warns him to be careful as he steps inside. The gate warns him, if chaos consumes him, he can't return. He steps into the vast, empty hall of the Gate of Chaos. He recalls 5 years spent grinding Pangenia without rest. He knows more than anyone, yet the game is still a mystery. Its impossible difficulty always fueled his desire to conquer it. These unknown territories are exactly why he loves this world. He grips his sword, ready for this brand new challenge. He vows to be the first player to ever clear this trial. He leaps forward to face a shadowy, white-haired figure. His first opponent is a being of pure, sharp darkness. The figure's golden eyes are cold and unforgiving. Park Hyunmyoung recognizes him, Wilhelm, his own character. The copy attacks without hesitation, a blur of golden light. Their blades clash with explosive force. Park Hyunmyoung is immediately thrown off balance. He questions if he can truly fight this legendary warrior. Wilhelm was the #1 ranked player in all of Pangenia. His opponent's sword cuts through the air with blinding speed. Park Hyunmyoung stares, completely outmatched by the assault. He realizes this trial is designed to be impossible to clear. He curses this crazy game as their blades collide. A pillar of light erupts from the powerful impact. He blocks the strike, but the blade cuts his arm. The wound isn't deep, their attack power is equal. It has Wilhelm's form but Randolph's stats. His armor and boots activate their special abilities. A new synergy unlocks, giving him an opening. He unleashes a powerful counterattack. The copy stands firm, its expression unreadable. Its golden eyes narrow, calculating the next move. The copy brings its blade down with immense force. Park Hyunmyoung plants his feet, bracing for the blow. He blocks the strike, but the impact is staggering. The copy's eyes narrow, studying his every move. It taunts him, asking if he's chasing past glory. But Park Hyunmyoung's resolve doesn't waver for a second. He pushes back, asking if that's even possible now. With his free hand, he reaches for an opening. He grabs the copy's arm, stopping the blade cold. The perfect warrior is stunned by the unexpected move. He slams his head into the copy, calling it a fake. The perfect warrior reels back, stunned by the brutal attack. His perfect double lies defeated on the ground. A system window confirms he's using a health potion. He drinks the vial, a green aura restoring his health. The potion gives him a much-needed second wind. He's glad he stocked up using Hudson's money. But the copy's head reforms from swirling darkness. Its golden eyes narrow, the fight far from over. More shadows emerge, he'll need every potion he has. Back in the real world, an interview concludes. The legendary hero Gracia ends the session. Kim Hana thanks him for his valuable time. But Gracia's gaze remains fixed on her. He has one last, off-the-record question. The reporter is caught completely off guard. He asks about her article on the mysterious hero. Gracia demands every single detail she remembers. Meanwhile, Park Hyunmyoung kneels among his fallen copies. But a new, larger shadow looms over him. The floor is littered with the bodies of his fallen clones. He leans on his sword, completely exhausted from the fight. He's lost track of time after fighting 100 copies. At least they've stopped spawning, this must be the end. With his potions gone, he hopes the trial is finally over. The last of his copies dissolves into nothing at his feet, but a new presence suddenly makes him look up. A massive shadow falls over the entire chamber. The chaos spirits reveal themselves, intrigued by his nature. He asks if their arrival means he has cleared the trial. The chaos spirit scoffs, asking if he thinks he's won. The spirits laugh, their mockery filling the empty space. It mocks his ambition to clear this impossible tower. The spirit reveals this was just the beginning. A gate of light forms, the true trial lies beyond. It taunts him, asking how he can win when he's so weak. The first trial, it explains, was designed to be impossible. Beyond that door, hundreds of illusions await him. No, not hundreds, an army of thousands awaits. The spirit tells him to give up. This tower is unbeatable. A chaos spirit offers him a special contract. They beg him to turn back, calling him a fool. They promise unique gear and top-tier chaos skills. He recalls the tower's rules. Rewards match the gate. Clearing a gate grants a corresponding spirit egg. He expected a chaos spirit egg for this trial, but their desperate offers mean something is wrong. He realizes a greater reward must lie ahead. He ignores their pleas and walks into the light. He knows an army of illusions awaits him. He's out of potions, but he's memorized every pattern. He declares he no longer needs them to win. He'll just repeat the moves he's already perfected. The chaos spirits watch him, their expressions blank. The spirit laughs at his absurd determination. It calls him a fool, but one it can respect. He steps into a vast, golden, cosmic space. Park Hyunmyoung looks around, completely bewildered. A system window announces the main quest is complete. A voice confirms he has reached the tower's peak. The tiny fire spirit congratulates him on his victory. It tells him his companions are still in their own trials. He realizes the real trial was a complete lie. The chaos spirit's offer was a trap to ensnare him. The spirit reminds him of a hint he received earlier. Now it is time for him to claim his reward. A system window confirms the Tower of Chaos is cleared. He expects the reward to be a chaos spirit egg. A dark egg forms in his hand, swirling with energy. But as he stares at it, something feels off. But the dark egg in his hand begins to transform. A brilliant light shatters the chaos as his hidden trait activates. The system first confirms he's received a chaos spirit egg, but the reward suddenly changes to a celestial spirit egg. He now holds a glowing, feathered egg of pure light. Park Hyunmyoung stares, baffled by this impossible reward.